Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you for having this important hearing. It's an important topic, and I think we all agree something that needs to be addressed. I want to talk about, I'm from Nevada. Wildfires are longer, hotter. It's happening now, and this is a problem with our insurance costs as well, so I appreciate the conversation today. I also appreciate the conversation about fuel reduction, because that's what needs to happen as part of this mitigation effort. I want to point out to my colleagues, Senator Tim Sheehy and I have a Western Wildfire Support Act that we have introduced. I welcome them to join me. It provides communities across the western United States with additional resources to help prevent wildfires before they start, to combat those that do spark, and help communities touched by wildfire recover and rebuild. I also just have to point out that the collective work we've done in a bipartisan way in the bipartisan infrastructure package was to deliver about $8 billion for wildfire prevention and suppression. It was important for us for the very reasons that you're all talking about. And I have to say, I'm disappointed because I have just learned and heard reports of terminated employees at agencies like the Bureau of Land Management and U.S. Forest Service who are working to protect the West from these wildfires. I've also learned how Elon Musk and DOGE has cut federal funds for wildfire mitigation. They've issued stop work orders to small businesses and organizations removing fuels from public lands, along with firing thousands of Forest Service and DOI employees. I think we got to get back on track here for the very reasons that you're all talking about. I just came from Nevada. I'm hearing in my state as well about the high cost of insurance. Supervisor Pyska and Mr. Gordon, let me ask you about this. I've also heard from insurance professionals in my state about insurance discrimination against first-time homebuyers. Insurers can deny a first-time homebuyer a policy simply because they lack prior insurance history, which negatively impacts their insurance score. Is this true, and should insurance policies be based on the risk profile of the house? Isn't that where it should be, rather than if the buyer is a first-time homeowner? And let me start, Supervisor Pyska, with you, and then I'll ask you, Mr. Gordon, as well, to answer.
Thank you, Senator. I am not aware of that in my county, but I'm happy to look into it and get back to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Gordon, are you hearing anything like that?
I have not heard about that issue. Certainly both the homeowner and the home are relevant to the risks. Some homeowners do a better job of taking care of their property than others, but I have not heard of that specific problem, but we'd be happy to work with your office to see if there are any issues we can help address.
Thank you. And then let me jump back to Supervisor Pyska. Can you discuss the strategy of insuring homes on a house-by-house basis rather than a zip code to account for owners who have made investments in resiliency? Would this more accurate estimation help expand access to affordable insurance options?
Thank you, Senator. Certainly, hardening house by house is a good approach, but what we're trying to do in my county is cluster harden entire communities with wraparound fire breaks so that that entire community is resilient, so evacuation corridors are safe, so that the community doesn't become more fuel.
Right. And Mr. Gordon, would that make a difference? Would that help lower insurance costs if insurance companies saw this mitigation and what the work is being done in a neighborhood?
Yes, it would. And in particular, I mentioned earlier, one of the most cost-effective fire safety measures is clearing a 5-foot defensible perimeter. The problem is if you do that and your neighbors don't, then you're still vulnerable. So a lot of these fire safety measures, it's really important that the community does it in addition to the individual homeowner.
Thank you. And I have to agree with Senator Rounds. I do think there is a role for us at a federal level, but also at the state level, our state insurance commissioners who, I know in Nevada, I've already been talking with my state insurance commissioner. I do think it is important for us to make sure we're addressing those concerns. I just have to say, thank you for being here. This is the #1 topic I hear at home for so many reasons. In the West, it is the wildfires. Obviously, in other geographic locations, there are different extreme weathers that are having an impact, but we need to address it, and we need to do it in a collaborative effort. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, ma'am. Senator Bernie Moreno.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for